I will prove these modern awnings are not divorcing a bag. I have got my new awning now and I already know a lot of the answers to some of the questions. Yes, it's of high quality. It's made of the best materials. It looks great. You can unzip the sides to turn it into just a standalone canopy if you wish. What I don't know is it easy to erect? Can it be put up quickly? Can the sliding door be opened and closed easily? How easy is it to detach, drive away and return? That's often a concern for some, and importantly, often overlooked. How easy is it to put away back in the bag when you're going home? Also, I'm told it's extremely good in the wind, and that's something which I'm going to be putting to test, but that's not going to be today. That will be a future video. But now I've got a confession to make, so please forgive me, but I have previously owned a caravan. I absolutely love my caravan. Definitely a good way of experiencing the outdoor lifestyle in a lot of comfort. Anyway, whilst on site, whenever you saw an Isabella awning, it was like, ooh, look at that, it's an Isabella. And I say that in the sense of it's premium quality brand, the brand of the awning that a lot of people in the caravan world go for if they can. In the campervan world though, the brand Isabella is not really known. People tend to recommend other brands, and these all vary in quality, price and purpose. You may have seen in other videos, I've got the Isabella chairs and table. I love the products. I've even got the shoe rack from them, and I've got the bigger reclining chairs as well, the ones with the footrests. Really good chairs, but these are bigger than the other ones. And basically what I'm saying is I've got a history of the brand because I really do value the products. So when I first saw this at the NEC Camping, Campervan, Caravan and Motorhome show, something like that, and watched it being demonstrated to somebody else, I had it in my head that actually that might be the one I want. And this is the Isabella Extension, and its name comes for two reasons, and both clever in their own different ways. The first being, when we buy an awning, we want more space. We want to expand that living area, and that is what you do when you buy a house. We build an extension. So there you go. Secondly, the design of the extension, with X being the way the air tubes are patterned. This helps to provide the strength along with some other tubes, which I'll show you later on when I get it up, hopefully. So let's see if my method of setting up this drive-away awning is effective for this awning. I have never ever set this one up. It's not even been out of the bag. And the one reason being for this is I wanted to further debunk that myth, the divorce in a bag myth. You hear it all the time. These awnings are really easy to set up. There's no fighting with poles, trying to thread it through the material and inevitably getting it caught. These modern air awnings are very quick and easy, and I'm going to prove it. I hope. Let's get it opened and take a look. Now, first thing you're going to notice here is that I've got two bags, and there is a reason for that, is because it comes in two different packages. One, this is the main awning. That's the main part, the big tent, if you wish. And then the second part is what they call the tunnel. And this is the tunnel which, as you will know, on campervans, is the bit that attaches between your van and the actual awning itself. So because vans come in different shapes and sizes, then it means that also the tunnel which is requires potentially different heights. So if you've got a taller van, then the tunnel necessarily for a smaller van isn't going to fit. So they have these different tunnels just to make sure that it's actually a far better fit. So you're going to be getting the full benefit because it fits perfectly to your van. I've got obviously the Volkswagen Transporter, so as far as Isabella's concerned, this comes in a specific VW California Bulli Transporter one. So the tunnel which I've got for mine is going to fit perfectly my van. On the Remo rail which I got the other week from CMC Campers, absolutely love that. I think it just adds perfectly to the van, and it's going to be perfect for actually adding this awning. But if you've not got a Transporter, you've got a much bigger van, a much taller van, then it is going to be a different size tunnel which you're going to need, and they've got various different selections. So just speak to the dealer where you're going to be getting yours from, and they'll advise you on that. Anyway, let's quit the talking and actually see what's inside. I've genuinely not even opened it. So in the tunnel we have some instructions, and it says on there, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see that, but it says for California, UK. Got some pegs, obviously very, very useful for tying things in. And the rope, and look at this rope, you're going to have to see this, it's got wooden bits on it. That is really, really high quality. And just even the rope itself, you know, when you get some of the cheaper awnings, it's just kind of like a a cheaper material, but that in itself, I know it's only a rope and I shouldn't really be going too much about it, but that is a quality rope. And then we've got the main tunnel part as well. So that's the tunnel. Right, now on to the big bit. What have we got in here? So it's got a nice carry handle. It actually weighs 24 kilograms. 24 kilograms being, it's a reasonable weight for an awning, but it's not too heavy. Now the air awnings do weigh more than the poled ones, so you just need to be cautious of that. But I actually did do a video with Chris from Tamar Caravan Centre, and we're talking about the different caravans, talking about the difference between a poled and air. So do have a look at that if you've not seen that. You might find that quite interesting. Right, so here we go. Nicely rolled up in a nice package, which hopefully it'll be like that when it comes out. And some more instructions. So on this one it just says the extension, not vehicle specific, because obviously the vehicle specific element of it is actually down to the tunnel, and the instructions basically say pump it up. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. More ropes. I'm going to keep these separately just in case they're any different. And we've got some tie backs. So tie backs which will be for the netting and the windows, and lots more pegs and rope as well. So we've got plenty of things in there. And then in here we've got the all important pump. There you go, there's proof that I've never even opened this before. That's actually a sealed wrapper. Tell you what, you're not going to be able to decipher this from actually just on the video itself, but that isn't carbon, that is plastic. But the quality of it just feels, do you know, you can feel quality. It just feels really high quality. Now what it's got two different settings on this. So you know when you're pumping things up, and to start with, it's really easy to do, and then the further you actually get into that pumping action, there's more pressure gone into it, the PSI is rising. It gets a real struggle to do it. So that's when it's putting air in when you go down and also when you come up, but it's actually got a little lever which you can flick it over to single action, which means it's actually only going to inflate one way, so it's much easier to actually pump it. But I'll show you that in a moment. So let's put it on dual action for now, because I want the full bits. So which way round does this go? I ain't got a clue. Oh, we still got all this in here. Told you it was new, didn't I? Right. So we've got the two front bits. So I need to close one of them up, because otherwise all I'm going to do is put air in and then air will come out again the other side. So you need to keep one closed and then one open. So you only actually have to inflate one side and it does it all. But the beauty of it having two is when you're deflating, it's actually got two exits for that air to come out. That's the bit where I said it gets hard. So that gives you how to put it up. Screw that together and we're good to go. So that gives you that basic structure. So we've got the basic structure of it, that's all up. If I was doing it properly, if I was staying here, then I'm going to be putting the ropes out. I'd be pegging down each of the corners, putting the ropes out to make sure that it's strong, secure in its place. But because I'm not staying here, then I'm just going to do it that. I'm just going to demonstrate it to you. So let's open up. How many zips do you want on the door? But this is really high quality. I mean, I've had lots of awnings in the past, believe me, Various different price points. I've had really cheap, I've had middle of the road, and I've had a little bit more expensive as well. And the quality of this does feel far superior to even the previous most expensive one I'd had. But that's because it's Isabella. Isabella really is an absolutely top quality product. It can't come across in the video, but that is a real quality zip, as is everything else. Right, so we've got the back door here, so we can remove this. How many zips do you want? So we can remove, it's got 3 removable panels. So this front panel here, as you can see there, that completely unzips. We've got this panel here, this completely unzips, and that can be totally removed as well. And then we've got this panel here, which is actually a fixed panel. This panel can't actually be taken out, but it does have a window in it. It's got a window with blackout, so this can be taken down and then that can be rolled up. We've got the tie backs for that, and then it's got this nice net curtain in here to make sure that no flies or anything come in. So now what we need to do is we need to connect this to the van. So did it first time that time. So we've got the tunnel. Right. So as far as the tunnel is concerned, as I've said, this is specifically made for my van. It is made for the Volkswagen Transporter, the California, etc. It's got 2 different beadings on it. It's got a 4mm and a 6mm, and that's to make sure that depending on what awning rail you've actually got, it's going to be suitable for your van. So what we need to do is we need to get this up, get it attached. So these suckers can suck onto the side of your van if it's nice and clean, which mine is at the moment. So what I need to do now is move the awning, because I've not pegged it out closer to the van to get the perfect fit for the awning against the tunnel, and then we've got no excuses, have we? So let's just make sure that these panels are nice and solid. And then what we do is just pull it over. And did you see how easy that was to pull over then? Really easy. So, zip that one up. Good. There we go. Then we put that in there, tie that up, and job's a good one. So now what we need to do is we need to make sure it's sitting exactly where we want it. So we've got the clips on the van there, so that one needs just putting back in place. Get that where I want that there, exactly where it is. Make sure this side is where we want it. Start at the back here, so we make sure that we know how this one's sitting. I've not pegged it out. I know I've not pegged it out, but let's not worry about that, shall we? So let's open it up so you can see what we get. So like I've said, that side is completely removable. Obviously I'd put those in the van if I wanted to, and then this side here, again, removable. When you've actually got it connected to the van, you probably do want that actual side removable, but if it was going to be standalone, if it was going to be used as a canopy or it was just going to be used as a tent, then you could fully zip that up, and then you've not got any open sides. So this side, it's got the blackout window in here, which is again it's not just a cheap cottony material, it's a proper quality feeling material. It's got a window behind that to let the light in, but if you really want to let the light in, you just completely remove the side. So in the summer, when a lot of your awnings have just got big sides and you're feeling that heat, because obviously naturally the material of an awning does actually generate a lot of heat within the tenty awning type of thing, you can just remove it and then you've just got that free flowing air throughout it. Really useful. So I mentioned about the X. So inside here you can see it's got the X beams above the top, but it's also got beam going all the way around the outside. Now these are absolutely solid. Once they put up to that really, really high pressure, then they are really, really firm. And I've been told by other people, nobody at Isabella, nobody in caravan sales or anything like that, but it's just in the wind, it is phenomenal. It's really, really good. So to be honest with you, I actually plan on taking it out when the weather isn't going to be good, just to make sure that that is actually true, because I've got full confidence in it. It's a really high durable material. I think it's 195 gram polyester, and it's high grade, and it is a quality material. So beams obviously coming up the side, across this side as well, and then all the way around, which makes sure that it's got that strong structure. The zips, I've already mentioned the zips. The zips are the same throughout, other than the actual air tubes, they're slightly differently. But these are real high quality, real thick zips, and they're really smooth. So the tunnel, this tunnel here, so it's connected, and as you can see, it's right up against the van because it's got those suckers. That suckers are actually keeping it close to the van to make sure that, you know, you've not got that wind whistling through. The door, it's not even going to touch it. But look at that. You've not got any issues with it catching on the awnings. So sometimes with the drive-away awning, the actual roof will touch this, and with this one it doesn't, because they've thought about it. It's just a really, really well thought out product. So what you've got now is, so for instance, we've got it in position, we've got it all pegged out, we've got the guy ropes out, the really high quality guy ropes. They're all pushed out, and this isn't going to be going anywhere. But we need to go to the beach, we need to go to the shops, we just need to get out and do something. So we need to drive the van away. So what we do here is, it's just a simple case of unzip that, unzip this side, unzip this side, unsucker from the side of the van, and then pull the tunnel out. So now you've got the tunnel out, you can pop that either back in the bag inside the awning, and you can drive the van away. Now, one thing I didn't mention there is what we do with the van whilst we've got it in that exact position. So there's a couple of ways which you can do that. Some people put pegs out. If you are putting pegs out, make sure that it's not going to damage your wheel or your tyre when you come back there. You can actually buy strips of material, and that's what I use. Make sure that they're proper down into the surface, so you've got that peg, you've driven it right down so you can't actually see the top of the peg, but you can see the material where the van is, and then just park exactly where you've actually left from. And that's the Isabella awning. So what I need to do now is pack it away to make sure that we can actually get it back in the bag. But whilst it's up, I'm going to get some shots of it and then I'll come back. Right, so I just got some extra shots before I start taking it down. So now I'm going to take it down, and then I'll get my Isabella chair out, and then we'll have a little chat about this compared to other awnings. It's an extension and a few other bits. So let's start taking it down. So inside, it is empty. Now what I always like to do with the awnings is just kind of release a little bit of the air. So if the sides are open a little bit, they're still connected, but when you're packing it away, it just means that it just packs away a little bit easier. Somebody in the comments might tell me that I'm completely wrong with that and I shouldn't do that, but that's what I do. So if that is wrong, then please do tell me. Right, so as I've said, both sides of this, obviously under normal circumstances you'd unpeg it and everything first, but I've not pegged it down. So we need to release the pressure. See, it's a bit like a paddleboard, it's going to go in a minute. Let's start releasing this side. Here we go, just leaving it a little bit. And I planned it perfectly so it wouldn't fall back onto the van. I didn't really, that was just completely pure luck. So I've spent a long time deliberating which awning would be best to suit my needs, and now I think I've definitely found it. as seen, it's really easy to pop up. There definitely is no divorce in a bag here. I did it all on my own, and yeah, okay, I did have to figure out, first of all, first time using it, which side was which end went where, but it wasn't particularly difficult. A lot of the time was just figuring it out, and that's just figuring how to do it, not actually the physical putting it up. The actual physical putting it up was really easy. Even the pumping, that pumping mechanism, by using that two different function pump, the dual pump, which as you saw did get a little bit tough after a while, so I needed to use the single action just so I could put my weight on it and get it up to the required pressure. But it was still really, really simple. I think it's going to be great for my summer adventures and also my conversation videos, which I've struggled with in the poor weather. Now I've got this, an awning and a canopy. It's going to be really, really easy to do. So I'm going to find out what it is like in that poor weather. Now I know the caravan awnings are good in really bad weather, so I'm pretty sure that this will be too. But before that, it's going to be summer, and there are lots of adventures which I can use it on. So do subscribe if you want to see those. I've said that this is a premium awning, and it isn't for all budgets. It is a high quality product. And if you've bought a VW Transporter, a California Ocean, or maybe a Mercedes Marco Polo, which I've got to admit, I really do like those, then you've already spent money on a premium product. What some might actually say is expensive, but let's not get into that argument today. But it's a lot of money, whether it's too expensive or not. You've spent a lot of money. So why would you not buy the best quality awning also? An awning is an extension for your campervan, providing extra space, storage, additional sleeping area, and more. If you're going to be using it a lot, then buying cheap one could be a false economy. I've said previously that I bought a reasonably priced one. I bought quite a few, and it hasn't been great. It wasn't that stable, and even one of the more expensive brands, one of the awnings just popped and kind of went all out of shape twice. Not ideal. So this time I've gone for better, and as the quality of the caravan awnings is far superior, I'm expecting this to be absolutely no different. The first trips are going to be coming up this summer. I'm going to be taking this awning out and staying places and getting out on the waters as well, doing a bit of exploring. And as it's summer, you might be thinking about harnessing some of that sun's power on your solar panels on your roof. And if you do, make sure you don't make this mistake. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you soon.